Alright, so I'm over here at the house, nothing better to do, so I'm out here doing some wiring. I guess I'll kind of show you what we're going on so far. Got our main bulkhead front, main rear. They do not connect cross wires any which way. Accessories in the rear, or electrical going to the rear, goes in the rear bulkhead. Of course, stuff in, that goes to the front of the truck goes to the front bulkhead. Yeah, I'm a little bit anal about that. So, moving on from... Sorry, I'm doing this on the phone right now. I forgot the actual camera at shop because squirrel. So part of my wiring OCD, so to speak, everything's got to be, has to be in its proper place. So here we have, a factory Ford fuse box. I got this slotted out for electric fans. I got that slotted out for a compressor. I got this slotted out for fuel pumps. The fuses are in here just to take up a hole because I had to do some testing. I'll put the right sizes in eventually. I think 3 or 4 of these were slotted in for other things. But anyway, we've got the computer there. I just left the computer there because it plugs the hole. Sure. So, this is our... granted, it looks like crap now because it's not loomed or anything. But we get a factory Ford connector, 3-wire. Yeah, it's got the bigger pins in it for high load, or electrical load. All this gaggle here, which comes back to that, it's actually really simplistic. Vehicle speed sensor wires is all that. This here, can't get the focus. So with Ford, we basically have the ground. We have a left turn, a right turn, parking lights, and this other wire, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I think that green and red one there is for our trunk light, for inside our trunk area. So then we have this. This comes out of that. We have, what's this? I got them all labeled, but basically they're, key off source, key off power source, so they'll run our rear facing. They'll run our rear facing lights, and our lights that we're going to put up on the side between the B and C pillar. The only other one we got is this little guy right here, which is a rock light wire. I'll put a couple of rock lights back here just to lay it up. So that's what I'm working on right now, is just running wires. So even with that being said, oh, here we go. So everything, these little guys here, I think it's a 60-pin bulkhead. Some of them are bigger than this. This is one of the small ones. To pull a bulkhead apart, it's not that hard. Matter of fact, I'll do it right quick. Give me 1 sec. All right, so bulkheads, real quick. Turn this camera around so you can see. I'm gonna try to get a best shot I can. Yep. Okay. Let's set this up so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Maybe. There we go. Maybe. My phone's flying. Cool. So bulkheads. They usually have a lock in them, which is what this is. It's a lock. So I'm trying to do this through the camera. It's hard to see. So let's go to this one. Granted, there's not the right pliers for it. It's what I had really close by. So I grab this tab, pull up a little bit. Same on that side. Make sure you don't bend any of the pins when you do this. See, they're all pretty straight. So we set this aside. Then you take a baby screwdriver, and you see all these little locks, so to speak. You pull those back, pull your wire out. Problem solved. And it makes it a lot cleaner. So got a baby screwdriver here. This is all still interconnected, so it's kind of a nightmare to work with. Let's see. You see this pin right here moving? Oh, it actually works out better. All you do is take a baby screwdriver. Working through the camera here, forgive me here. Pry it back just a little bit. You can pull your wires out. And they simply just pop in. That's all there is to... That's all there is to bulkheads. I mean, it's easy to do. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, smaller connectors, obviously, you probably need a little bit smaller screwdriver, but it's not that hard. And it actually makes it look really good. Pop the hood up, look at the engine bay, and everything's all neat and coming out, bulkheads and whatnot. That's just my opinion. I don't know, I like doing it that way. Not that, like, the factory connectors on this truck, I got a ton of them laying around from all the systems we pulled out. So, I'm using them. The taillight harness, that's going to go inside the trunk. We're actually going to use a factory harness, but we're just going to use the plug for it and then solder our own wires after the fact and go from there. So everything's all right there. You just got to utilize it. So with that being said, I got more rock lights. Ah. Blink. These are going in a weird spot. Some. So ran wire, you know, through the hood, runs down this channel. Yeah, you can see it poking out right there. It comes down and around. That'll get a grommet and down there. That runs in the fender and comes out, I think it's that wire there. Yeah, pretty sure it's that one. Nope, it's hiding behind it. It's down in there a ways. That wire runs all the way across over to the switch panel through the bulkheads. But we also have one on this side. Comes over, down, cuts across here, and it's soldered in, I want to say over in here somewhere. So I did that last night. Main reason being is I don't want any wires coming through over here and possibly pinch. You know, when you shut the hood, electrical fires are bad. But we're putting in they're essentially under hood lights. They're not really rock lights. They're on their own little switch and whatnot. Things happen on the trail. Things break. You know, it is what it is. I want to be able to at least pop the hood and boink, throw some power, hit a switch, and at least I can see what's going on under here if I need to. That's the whole purpose for that. So this one of those little extra touches we're adding. And I'm gonna scream and fight and curse trying to get the nuts in there. But anyway, so that's what I'm working on right now. I'll see if I can get you some video of doing this. It's kind of nightmarish. Alright, so our next adventure here, we're going to put some weather packs on the end of these rock light wires and stuff them up in the hood. So, see, these wires are so skinny, I usually just leave the, I'd say, inch of tail they got on them. Just fold it over a couple of times so the connector actually has something to grab. That's just my theory to doing this, the way I do it. Now, you never mess with one of these little wire kits. They're actually kind of cool. It does require a special pair of pliers to do it, but I mean, they're cheap. They're, I don't know, 20-30 bucks on Amazon. I mean, that's all it is. Yep, but it works. We're doing 2-pin connectors. I want to do the male plug with the female metal inserts. These things are kind of tiny and cumbersome, so yeah. You really pay attention to what you're doing, otherwise you'll end up picking all these goofy things up off the ground, which definitely not on my top 10 list of things to do. Simply just put a little yellow barb on the end of that. Move it up close to the wire. Set wire down in the little crimp zone, if you want to call it that. Nope, alright. Nope, wrong one. Get in there, you. Give it a squeeze. That's crimped. Now at the very end here, it has, at the very end of the plier, it has a little thing so you can squish the rubber down on there, create your weather seal. So we get to focus. Focus. Yep. Then all you gotta do is slip it in the back side of this connector. They are numbered. Where is it? 2 and 1. I've been doing red wire, power wire 1, ground wire 2. which fortunately for this particular situation is black and red. So yay. Actually, I'll put this up here. So you notice I got the strap here. When I'm pushing against the hood drilling, it keeps the hood from going all the way up and out of my range. Let's see. So number 1 is here. Number 2 is there. 1 and 2. Yeah. And I've done the whole truck with this. 1 being the power, 2 being the ground. I'm so gonna need a coffee after this. See, these wires are always, microscopic, so you can't. There we go. Can't really get a good push on them. Once again, come on, the mini screwdriver. Just push on that gently. Click and click. Get a quick tug. They're locked in. And then you have this little red keeper. Whoa, about to fall. It just goes on the end. That's simple. Sweet. So now we do this end. Now you see we got a lot of pigtail here, so don't want it to come flying out. So what I have to do is get creative. I'll snip this here and put the other end on, and then essentially, even at max reach, it doesn't come anywhere near the hood latch mechanism over here. I still got 3 or 4 inches. So I'll snip that there, put another one of these on it. The opposite end, obviously, and then we'll go ahead and make a ground. Okay, so decide what I'm going to do with my ground. I'm going to take this bolt loose here, or nut bolt, whatever I'll call it, for that actually holds the rock light down, or up in this case to the hood. Made a little harness. Equal length to this one. We'll put an end on it for this connector. These do deform just a wee bit when you put them together, so you gotta argue with them once in a while to get them clicked in. Wham! I do the same to this. Click that all in. Hook up our ground. Should be simple. Should. Famous last words. Also with that, this little eyelet loop thing, basically one of these. I don't crimp them. I'll actually cut the blue stuff off, or the red or yellow, whatever color it is. Put the wire in there, give it a quick smoosh just to hold it, and then solder it all in. That's just my preferred method. Shrink tube keeps it all sealed. Alright, so making the ground for the other side here. That's what I mean by give it a little squeeze. The bottom one there, it just barely holding the wire. Fold that one down on top of it, and that's it. Whoa. If I were to pull on it, it would come off. Okay. Now, the fun part is getting that little nut stirred again. Just a wee little guy. Once it started, it's not bad. Just not getting to that point. Oh, that's sent. Good deal. Yay. Yeah, it's all good. There it goes. And boom. One under hood rock light in. With that being said, tighten this side, the left side to me a little more than the right, so it kind of angles it that way a little bit. Oh, and now my shoulders are numb. I do so I start on the second side. All right, I just got done with the under hood lights. I figured I'd just go ahead and get it knocked out. Kind of boring, doing all this fun stuff, but anyway. There's one, and there's two. What we'll probably do is I'll light this thing up tonight. I don't have batteries in the truck right now, just because I'm constantly working on it. Now when I accidentally lay a screwdriver down and weld it to the battery or whatnot. I'm trying to avoid that. So I keep, batteries outside the truck. I run a set of jumper cables to that 6-foot yellow wire, this thing. And I'll ground it to one of the ground lugs. I'll test my circuitry that way. Therefore, if something happens, I can just pop the jumper cable off. No fire. Fire bad. In this particular case, anyway. But, anyways, so I think now I'm going to work on... I need to think... Right over there. Blink. Zoom. And that little green guy right there is a ground lug. I need to somehow ground the hood. So another thing, just cut some wire to that little ground harness. See all that black in the wire that's close to the bottom? Not a good day. It actually came off this same length. Yep. But yeah, I actually cut about 3 inches of this thing off. Well, yeah, about 3 inches to find good wire. You ever try soldering through that black stuff? Good luck. It'll drive you absolutely out of your mind. It doesn't like to take. It's a pain. I always try to start out with good wire. It helps. And I got the underhood. These things are stupid bright. I'll shine it right in there. This is, there's no other ambient light on. I'd say that's a win. But that's going to wrap up today. It's probably 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to go in and relax. Probably find some food. I haven't really eaten all day, so I'm working on this crazy thing. But rock lights complete, at least under the cab. Hood lights complete. Those things are freaking blinding. That my blue grill thing here. That's something I put in a long time ago. I want to see it lit up. But yeah, making progress. Trying every day to make some progress. So tomorrow, probably gonna head over to the shop and do some more work on the cage. Coilover tab. Sorry for the rear. So we're gonna work on that, and we'll go from there. Another day here in the shop. It's kind of the end of the day. We had camera issues again. Come to find out, the mic on these things works a lot better when it's plugged all the way in. So, whoops. We pulled it out of there for some reason. I forget why, but we did, and, well, oops. Yeah. But anyway, today's goal was to get these finished, ground, and blasted, which we got 3 out of 4. These are our cross members. Yes, cross members. That's 2 of them. These 2 are the rear. So essentially they slot together something like that. There we go. Went ahead and welded nuts on the backside on this one too, but welded nuts on the backside. If we didn't have to argue, with washers and blah blah blah, trying to get in a tight space. So welded them. They are stover nuts, lock nuts, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so this other cross member is our front one. Looking at the driver's side, Fords are a driver's side drop for the transfer case. Now let's do this. Ooh. So basically with the transfer case and the combination we're running, we had to make it goofy like this. I would have loved to put a straight piece in here, but with the dry shaft, that just wasn't a thing. We couldn't do it, couldn't make it happen. So we had to come this way, then come down here to meet this and whatever. But she takes a factory Ford trans mount of the era anyway. That is 3/8 plate, I believe. The rest of this is built out of 1.5 by 3/16 wall. But that's what the rest of this is made of. These brackets here are 1/4 inch. This was actually a piece of 2x6 rectangle that we cut this edge off and this edge to try to make it essentially an angle bracket. Stay. But this part on both of them is 2x4 1/4 wall box tubing. Once again, we lopped the ends off, drilled the holes, and they're all match drilled. Welded 4 nuts on it. So that's that. So these 2 go together, and then these 2 go together. So, like I said, part of our game plan was to finish grind, which we did, and sandblast. I'm not sure if this one's going to fit in our blast cabinet, though. This one's kind of goofy. So, the other thing we wanted to get done today was our rear coilover mounts. We want to reinforce them a bit. So the V-blocks that Ray made, just because we didn't want the mounts to fold over and whatnot, because that's the only thing attaching the axle to the truck.
So I want to make sure it was good and strong. I did a little more finish welding. There's a couple spots that we missed, and while it was in this position, we figured we'd get them. You know, just like around the back of the trunk area, we sealed that up real good. But yeah, that was today's plan. And like I said, we forgot to plug the mic in.